Removing the peeling coating from my cabinet doors seemed easy, until it wasn't. I was taking these old stock kitchen cabinets and transforming them into this built-in hutch for our dining room, and removing the coating seemed like the easiest way to repaint the doors. But this project taught me a few things I really wish I'd known before starting. So before you try removing your cabinet coating, I'm sharing my full experience, what worked, what didn't, and the mistakes I made so that you can avoid them. I started this project because these cabinet doors were already peeling, and I planned on repurposing these cabinets into a built-in hutch for our dining room. I knew I wanted everything painted the same color once it was finished, which meant I had two options: remove the coating or build brand new doors. I had seen other people online make this look incredibly easy. The coating seemed to peel right off and then they painted them. So naturally, I thought this would be a quick fix. Just remove the coating and move on. But after a quick test, trying to peel off one of those loose sections, I quickly realized it was not going to just pop off. The edges were already lifting, but anywhere the coating was still fully adhered, it was holding strong. And this was actually the first mistake I made. I tried pulling the coating off without releasing the glue. And you definitely don't want to do that because it can pull up the MDF fibers underneath and damage the door. So I removed the doors from the cabinet, placed them on a heat-protected surface, and grabbed my heat gun. At first, the process actually felt pretty easy. I worked my way around the entire perimeter first, and then slowly moved my way down the door until the coating finally released. But this is where things went a little sideways. At first glance, the doors looked great. However, they did not feel great. The entire surface was tacky from the glue residue. There are different types of cabinet coatings like melamine, vinyl, which is often referred to as its process, thermofoil, and sheet laminate, and they're all applied differently, which means your experience could be completely different depending on what you're working with. And I'll explain a little bit more on this in just a minute. You may be wondering if I could have just primed over the doors at this point, and the answer is definitely no. When I looked closely, the glue left a subtle texture across the whole surface. It wasn't obvious from far away, but I knew paint would highlight it even more. These doors are MDF underneath, which most of this style of cabinet door is, and MDF does not handle moisture well. So I knew that meant avoiding water-based products or anything that could soak into the MDF. So at this stage, I started sanding. I used a palm sander and slowly worked the glue off. And when I say slowly, I mean it took forever. My hands were killing me, and this is when I started wondering, is there a better way to do this? And spoiler alert, there is. I ended up going through over 50 sanding pads just for these 4 doors. The corners were especially brutal because they are beveled shaker doors, so it was hard to get tight in the corners without sanding away that bevel. What actually worked best for me was a tiny triangle sanding attachment that I put on my multi-tool. I didn't have enough sanding pads for it though, so I cut triangles out of my hook and loop sanding sheets, and honestly, it worked amazing. I spent a ridiculous number of hours sanding just these 4 doors. It probably would have been easier just to build new ones. Sanding is right up there with caulking for me. I despise it. I finished with 120 grit and then followed up with 220 grit until all of the residue was gone. You could actually see the glue disappearing as I sanded, which made it easy to tell when I was finally done. After that, I primed over the raw MDF and gave the doors a light sand once again. Now, the doors did actually turn out really well, but the effort level was insane. So let me share the tips I learned to make this an easier process. Because not all cabinet coatings are the same, first of all, determine your door type. Cabinet doors are generally made out of either wood or MDF, and sometimes really cheap doors can be made out of particle board. Wood is either stained and then sealed or painted with a durable cabinet paint. MDF, however, is usually coated with either melamine, laminate, or vinyl. Melamine is fused directly onto the board during the manufacturing. It isn't glued on afterwards, which means it usually doesn't peel. If it fails, it tends to chip or flake. This is its tell. Sheet laminate is applied more like a glued-on panel. It's usually found on flat doors. This is how you can tell. And when it's removed, it almost always leaves adhesive behind. Thermofoil is made out of PVC, otherwise known as vinyl, and it gets heat wrapped over the MDF using an adhesive. This is the type that most people see when they have cabinet doors start peeling, and that's how you can tell that you have thermofoil. Most often when you're dealing with thermofoil cabinets, the vinyl will be applied to the front and wrap around the edges, but the back of the cabinet is often a sheet of melamine or laminate. That is much harder to remove. This was the case for me, and I chose to leave the backing on and just refinish the fronts. What can be a little confusing is that thermofoil doesn't always fail in the same way. It depends on the age of the cabinets, the heat exposure, like cabinets mounted around appliances that give off heat from like a stove, for example, the glue formula used. Some are better quality and adhere stronger, which makes them harder to remove than others. So some people can peel their thermofoil off almost cleanly, and others like me are left dealing with a lot of glue. Neither one means the doors are different. It just means that the adhesive failed differently. But most likely, even if thermofoil comes off easily, there will be glue residue left behind whether you can see it or not. The most frustrating part of this entire process was removing the glue. I watched quite a few videos before starting this project, but nobody talked about how difficult it was for the glue residue removal. After spending hours sanding these doors, I figured there really had to be a better way, especially because I still have an entire kitchen full of these cabinets, and I do not want to repeat this process on all of those doors. So I did a much deeper dive to look into another way to remove the adhesive from these doors without damaging the MDF underneath. And full disclaimer, I haven't personally tested this method yet, but this is what I plan to try next and what looks the most promising based on my research. So instead of just sanding off the glue, there are products that can help to remove it. First of all, it's super important to avoid anything water-based. MDF absorbs moisture quickly, which can cause swelling and fuzzing. Since MDF is easily damaged by water-based products, fast evaporating solvents are what work best for MDF. Denatured alcohol is commonly recommended, but if you're in an area like mine where it is restricted, isopropyl alcohol is suggested instead. Just make sure it's over 90%. No matter what you choose to use, please be safe. These products should always be used with good ventilation and kept away from heat sources. So the goal is to soften the glue, not saturate the door. Always wet the rag, not the MDF door, and let the solvent flash off before adding any more. And since I haven't tried this method personally myself, I would recommend testing a small area first. Once you are happy that all the glue is removed, a light sanding and sealing of the MDF is key before painting. So if I were to do this again, this is the process I would be following moving forward. Step 1, remove the coating slowly with heat. Use a heat gun and work slowly. Don't pull off the coating. Let the heat release the adhesive naturally so you don't damage the MDF underneath. Step 2, remove the glue residue. Apply a fast evaporating solvent to a rag, never directly onto the door, and work in small sections to remove the glue residue. Step 3, lightly sand. Once the glue is removed, sand the doors with 180 to 220 grit until the surface feels completely smooth. Step 4, seal and prime. Seal the raw MDF and prime with a high-quality bonding primer. I really like Bin Shellac Base Primer, and I also love the results of the Bin Cover Stain Primer, and it's quite a bit cheaper. Step 5, the final sand. Lightly sand again with 220 grit. Don't skip this step. It makes a huge difference in how smooth your final finish looks. Step 6, paint or spray your doors. Spraying gives the smoothest finish, but takes more setup and cleanup. Most of the time I roll mine, but both methods can work beautifully. Despite how frustrating my process was, I'm really happy with how these doors turned out. For this project, it was absolutely worth it in the end because I was working with what I already had and keeping my costs low. But for my full kitchen, definitely not this way. I'll be trying the new process I shared, and when I eventually tackle that project, I'll definitely make a video showing exactly how it goes. I hope sharing my experience helps you feel more prepared if this is a project you're considering. If you have any questions, let me know below, and thanks so much for watching.